Hey guys, I'm here with the MX5 and I want to talk about 5 things I love about the MX5. So first thing, I mean, what's not to like? It's electric, right? Bro, it's electric. It's so good. I love the fact that it's electric, that it's quiet, and you can just kick around in the backyard and not make any noise, and you won't bug anybody. Number 1, top reason. And I guess number 2 kind of goes into number 1 as well, because it's electric, it's so ridiculously torquey. And I guess the torque goes into like the power factor. So number 2, I would say, is the power. This thing has great power, and I felt a little jealousy for a little while, because right after the MX5 came out, and I bought it day one. They had issues with the battery. They had that Scud battery issue. Now I have the Greenway battery, so no worries there. But they had those issues, and then, I got it. I was super happy with it. Power was amazing. And then all these other bikes started coming out. The E-Ride Pro SS 3.0 with way more power numbers, like 23, 25 kilowatt hours. The Altus Sigma, 98 volts. It's like, oh man, it's so much better than the MX5. I had some FOMO about power, but this has so much power. It's great. My days I sit in sport, or if I'm doing technical stuff, I'm in eco, and the power is perfect. Regen. Now, regen was essentially a requirement for me. I was like, man, if I'm going to get a bike, it has to have regen. So I don't have any, I'm not pushing on the brakes at all, and I'm on number 2 regen. The regen kicks in at 6 miles an hour. If I turn on number 4 regen, I'm like slamming on my back brakes. It stops so fast. So let's go a little bit faster. My back brake is sliding. So it has incredible regen. And to me, that was one of the most important things that I needed. I needed that regen. I needed it. I really did. But as I've ridden it, to be honest, even though that was my number 3 thing, and I was super excited about it, now that I've ridden it more, I like regen less and less and less. And it's a kind of a funny thing, because I love regen on the road. I think it works really, really well. But these brakes are so good. And that's reason number 4. Man, these brakes, they're so good. I don't actually need great regen, because I have great brakes. And these brakes give me more confidence. They inspire more confidence than any regen would, because they're super reliable. I have the perfect feedback from them. They're excellent. So from a braking perspective, man, they're so good. So I would take, braking performance over regen any day. And I looked over a couple of bikes because they didn't have regen. I will not make that mistake again. When I look at my next bike, regen is not going to be a limiting factor. If it doesn't have regen, that's not a big deal. As long as it has great brakes, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Regen doesn't really do anything to battery life, or it doesn't do a whole lot, maybe get 1 or 2%, but for the most part, it's just to assist with braking. But braking's so good on this, you don't need it. And number 4 is the brakes. We've been talking about the brakes. They're so good. I can lock up my front, I can lock up my rear anytime that I want, not a big deal. Number 5 for this, let's just say suspension. I'm not a suspension guru, but it is so good, in my opinion. But don't really take my word for it. Just because I say it's so good, doesn't mean it is. It just means it's the best I've ever felt. It's definitely not better than something like a KLX 250S or like a proper dual sport bike. The suspension on those will be much better than this. If you go in washboard, this is really going to show the suspension's just not there. But from like a mountain bike perspective, it has awesome suspension, and I really, really enjoy it. And for what I do, stuff like this, I think the suspension is perfectly adequate. I love the fact that you can dial it in. I love the fact that it's air. I love the fact that the rear is just a bouncy shock. It works well. And I think it works in tandem. And initially, I thought it was spongy and thought it was weird. I kind of dialed it in. I have it halfway in the front. I have it halfway twisted in. I'm just dead center in the middle. And I put like 50 pounds of pressure in the front. That's it. I weigh 195, I think right now, 190, 195. And it's perfect for me. It works really, really well. Anyway, those are the 5 things that I absolutely love about this bike. I just love how quiet it is. Just going back to that, just the electric piece and how quiet it is, and how I don't have to have like earplugs, and I can just talk like this during, and just play around and have a good time. It's just so good. I really, really like it. And the reason I went with the MX5 is because, you know, there was the MX3, then when there was the MX4, MX5, it's like the 3rd generation of this. And they've really kind of figured it out. They've dialed it in. They know what they want to do, and it works extremely well. And I didn't want to be a beta tester for the Alta Sigma. I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm on the wrong track. There we go. Yeah, I took the wrong path. Might be. I didn't want to be a beta tester for the Alta Sigma. And I've seen people like ride the Alta Sigma. It's crazy. It's amazing. It looks more like a motorcycle. You know, it's got way more motorcycle-y vibes than I think I want. I don't know. Now, okay. This might be a little copium, but I don't know if I want that much more power than I already have. And the reason why I say that is because with more power comes more responsibility. With more power comes more weight. And this weighs, I mean, this already weighs like 160 pounds, 165 pounds. This is all I want. I mean, it's about as heavy as I want an e-bike to go. I don't really want to go any heavier. I don't need that. I don't want that. If I want to go heavier, I'll just go get my, you know, dual sport. And some people 100% are going to disagree. Some people want a full e-bike just for e-bike things. They want the power and they want the weight. That's totally fine. For me, it's not what I want on an e-bike. And that's just my perspective. And again, a little bit of copium here because I bought the MX5 and not something else. I'm getting a little tired. I'm starting to like weave around this trail a little bit. I'm going to sign off, but thanks for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one.